All right. All right. Once again, thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you. Another day, another opportunity to be a light. Try to, while I'm in this reality, I want to thank you for joining me. My name is Jaquab Ban Yisrael. Thank you, brethren, for coming in, having fellowship for a short time. Elijah, brother, looks like it's me and you for right now. So it's good to see you, bro. Creator, thank you for this opportunity to share what I think that you have given me to share with my brethren as we wait for the light kingdom to redeem the time, to store up for ourselves, to make ourselves for whenever we are born again in spirit. An incredible opportunity. Thank you, Creator. Pray that you give me words I can share with my brethren that'll bless them, that will give encouragement, give understanding and implementation of the things that we share for our souls so that we can grow and elevate in spirit. It's going to be a different world from hundreds of years from now. I mean, maybe not even that long, where we won't recognize the time that we're in right now. I know that Radiance anthology, I read from that, and it seemed to say the same thing. And I think that even now that technology is moving so fast that that we won't realize this current reality where things even right now seem to be on another level than our grandparents knew, great grandparents, a far, far different level. All right, so Creator, I pray that you bless the video, that you give me understanding, that I can say things that are unique and original for the purpose of glorifying you, blessing my brethren, and encouraging us to continue to have faith and to look at what you have done to us as a great gift that we have. We have a great gift, and we should take advantage of it, and we should not let the world overcome the that seed that you have put in us to grow and learn and acquire power, and to eventually be supreme in all the world by way of the things that we can do for one another and other people, which will cause people of this world to look to you, to run to you, to want to serve you. As we read in, I think it was the book of Fragapati, where there was a presentation put on for the subjects of false gods. The Ethereans put on a presentation, and when they saw the power, the wisdom, the pomp, the ceremony of the Ethereans, they decimated the kingdom of the false gods. Everybody wanted to serve them. And I think that you have us in a similar situation where we are in training that we will eventually that will be time for showtime, and that brethren who take the time to endure, to learn and meditate, pray and serve in these types of things, that you will make them, that you will glorify them for your sake, so that the world can see that you are real, and that you mean what you say, and that you are able to lift up your children and to overthrow the kingdom of men. So, Creator, all these things I ask and pray that you would grant for your glory and yours alone. And so, brethren, thank you. My name is Jaquab Ben Israel. Welcome to my channel, where this is a channel for very, very special brethren called Faithists who subscribe to the OAHSPE Bible. It's a Bible that primarily, I would say, I always say, the primarily exposes the beast kingdom. It exposes religion. It exposes the deception that is in the world, meant to take men's souls captive. And before I came on, it was an interesting thing. Something that never happened to me before happened, and I want to share it with y'all. I never remember my dreams, until today. I had a dream before I came on. I'd say about an hour before coming on, and I remembered it. I don't understand it, but I remembered it. And part of it, I remember I was having a discussion with a young lady, and part of what I said, what was given to me to say, was learn now so that the things that you learn now do not work against you later. And that was what I remember saying in the dream. I clearly remember saying that part. Learn now what you are. It said, learn now so that the things that you learn do not work against you later. And so we're in a situation where you see the disinterest and the things of what the creator is doing in our reality. There's no interest there. He doesn't seem, people can't see him, so there's no reason in the mind's eye of the world's reality to fear or to look for or to pay attention, and all these things. And so you always it seems that we have to always, the world, the Uzians, that they have to learn when it's too late. At the top of the hour, I'm going to do a reading. I'm going to do a reading where it comes from Radiance Anthology, and it's going to touch on that a little bit. But I think it has to do a little bit. It's going to have to do with that dream that I had, that I'm going to touch on a little bit in the top of the hour. Let me see. Now, Elijah says something. He says, makes sense for the soul affirmations to help with the cleansing and connection back to the creator. With that saying from your dream. Let me see. Makes sense for the soul affirmations to help with the cleansing and connection back to the creator. With that saying from your dream. I can't understand it. Makes sense. Okay. for the soul affirmations to help with the cleansing and connection back to the creator with that saying from your dream. Okay, yeah, I'm with you, bro. I think that, we're called to, he gave us the OAHSPE and Radiance anthology and any other works that we have, and brethren who he has raised up to share this light, that they're there for a reason. I don't think that the creator, he calls you to just be stagnant. You hear one time, you believe, you go your way, you don't be proactive, you don't try to learn and grow and that sort of thing. I don't think that creator is saying that. I think that dream, I think, that really, I remember specifically, learn now the things that you're learning so that it doesn't come back to bite you later on, so that it doesn't, let me see, exactly what it said was, learn the things you're learning now so it doesn't come back to hurt you later on. I specifically remember that. And it just confirmed in my mind that we ain't here to just, sit and learn for nothing, that the creator has got a purpose. And we don't just, sit around and we constantly learning and I think that's the way the creator, he tests to see who his children are. In times when there ain't nothing going on, it's boring. We heard that before 1,000 times. Why do we gotta, and then some brethren, it don't, since it don't appeal to them, they have a hard time, just staying with it, enduring and being patient. And I think that's one way that the creator, he weed people out from people he's going to use and people he's not going to use. I think that we're in the class right now. Summer is approaching when it's time for graduation. And these people, I don't know. I seem to think that the creator is all about testing us to see if we can endure, and whether, it makes sense to me. The world does the same thing. They test people before they put them in positions of power, or they give them an exam or a quiz. And same way with the creator. I think it's obvious that that's how he operates, and we're in that situation right now. We know that we're in the womb. We know that we are, that we're waiting, that the real life is to be born into the spirit, meaning to cross over into the spirit world, and that's the real life. But for the time being, we're here on the earth, and that he has a purpose for us, and he don't just throw you out there and tell you to, just just, he doesn't put you out there without preparing you. And so I just want to give a little understanding on why we go through the things and that we're going through, do the things that we do, and it's for a purpose. And I think we're soon to realize that just like in the Bible, man, Jesus Christ, he came on the scene all of a sudden. He came on the scene like all of a sudden, man. He was 33. All I knew pretty much is that this was the carpenter's son from Nazareth. And the same way it described, I just can't help but think that it's talking about the situation it's going to be for faithists. I think that while the Jesus Christ of the New Testament, I think it was fiction. I think the creator he used that to show what our situation is going to be, what we are going to, how we are. I think it's talking about us. I really do. I think it's talking about what the experience of faith is going to be. We just come from out of nowhere. Here we are. We sitting, we learning, we listening, we practicing these types of things. And then where some of us are old, some of us are young, and then all of a sudden, when the time is right, the creator just sends power from on high, and we just come on the scene. We put what we've learned, what we have practiced into play. And I think that the more that you put into it is what you get out of it when it comes to faithism, when it comes to the creator. I seem to think that the creator, he says the same thing. It's what you put in it is equal to what you get out of it. The amount that we will be used. I think that that's faithful to the principles of the OAHSPE. Brethren who put in an amount can, I mean, it sounds like the Creator to me, that you get out what you put in. Nobody can really argue with the Creator for, having that type of principle. I mean, it just sounds, it sounds like the Creator. It sounds like it's fair, and you can't argue with it. No one's going to be able to argue with the Creator, how he does things. In the world, you can see the same principle. The people that put in the most, they get the most out of it. I mean, praise the Creator for the way he, the fairness of the way he goes about, the way he deals with mortals. Now, let me do a quick run, let me see. Did I put the information in? No, I didn't do it. I'm reading from Radiance anthology nowadays. All of a sudden, I'm reading from Radiance anthology. I meant to put the ordering information in the description box. I don't think I did that. So what I'm gonna have to do again is let me see. Let me go back and put up on the screen the ordering information, because I've been sharing from that a lot. Brethren have been asking me how can they get it, and I meant to put it in the description area, and it looks like, let's see, I might have clicked off on the information. I did, so I don't see it on here. Trying to bring it up and put it on screen. I think I'll do it at the end of the program. Maybe I'll do it at the end of the program. All right. So anyway, real quick, if anyone is new to this program and you want to have fellowship with us, you want to learn from you believe you can receive the OAHSPE Bible, you want to join us for learning and that sort of thing. Now, we have 3 rooms actually 4, because one room that I had closed, I opened it back up again for the sake of just for, it's an opportunity. The opportunity to any opportunity that you got, man, I just feel like you should take it. If the now, man, I just believe that the Creator, he's given us an opportunity to rise to our highest self. And a lot of times it's not easy. And that's what separates people. I mean, if I don't want to sound like elitist or anything like that, but again, it only makes sense, man, that you get out of it what you put into it. That sounds like the faithists. There are people who work in the shadows, and they're equally as powerful, if not more, than people who are out front, charged with being out front and showy. And the Creator, he knows, the angels, they know. And so I encourage, brethren, that consider that as we go through our reality, man. Consider that you get out of it what you put into it. And the will of the Creator it's real simple. It's real simple, man. Be a light. Be a light, man. He gives you the wisdom you need to serve, brethren. Oh, you know what? Look at that, man. Time for the soul affirmations. I started late. It's time for the soul affirmations already, man. I started late. I looked up. It was 4:45. And then I looked up again, and it was 5:01. I looked up again, and it was 5:01. And it seems like around that time every day, man, about when it's time to go live, it's like the time play tricks on me. I think I have a few minutes, and then I look up, and then all of a sudden I'm late. So let me see if I can let's bring up the soul affirmations. So the soul affirmations, man, and I'm gonna stay on this for the sake of our blessing, man. The soul affirmations, I'm gonna stay somewhere near this on this channel. I firmly believe that the Creator is saying this is how you prepare the way of the Lord. This is how you prepare the way of the Lord, man. Your soul. I remember a story my brother told me, my flesh and blood brother. Talked to me about a man. I think it was a man. He had a hot dog cart or something. And when times were, he times I guess were good, and he gave a little extra out of, with the things he was serving. And when he decided to cut back, then all of a sudden he ended up going out of business, and the good times were over. And he asked, who's going to go with me now that I'm out of business, and and here I am, I'm broke now, and now what am I going to do? Who's going to go with me now? And he heard a voice behind him, and it said, I will. He turned around and looked, and it was his soul. And it's amazing the way how powerful that little parable was and is. It's amazing, man. And there have been little crumbs like that I've been told and heard throughout my life to talk to me about the importance of what's inside of you rather than what's outside of you. What's important is what's there's something that the Creator put in you. He knows that you're going to get to a point, you're in a situation, you're in a world, and you're going to wonder and question what it's all about. And to make a long story short, it's all about you returning to the purity that you were meant to manifest, the purity, the power of the unblemished soul, to return to that, because we're in a situation where the world, I'll pick up on it, but let's do the soul confirmations. And I'll pick up on what I was talking about. So we left off, we did this one last time. We did my soul will awaken and outgrow all mortal limitations. Now we're going to do this one on the bottom of the screen, bottom left. We're going to say this 3 times together. This is how we create a vortex. We're creating something. This is how you create something. We're creating something within ourselves, and we're also creating a vortex into the world. This is how we do it. So on the count of 3, we're going to say this one on the bottom here, where it starts with my soul will enable. On the bottom left, we're going to say this 3 times together. Okay? 1, 2, 3. My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of mortals. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of mortals. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of mortals. And so there you have it for today. Soul confirmation. My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of the world. So we should expect that to be made a part of our soul. Our soul is our power. See, remember we read yesterday, I was reading from Radiance anthology. We have really been set up, man, in the sense that when we read where it said that we have been born into an atmosphere of poisonous inspiration, and what's the other word it used? We have been born under poisonous inspiration, and there's another word which means where we not only are inspired, but you actually show it. Um, I forget. It's where you actually manifest it. The words that we use, the attitudes that we pick up, even as young children. And Radiance Anthology said this is we create a poisonous mental atmosphere for ourselves. We were born into it. And now we're in a situation right now. See, words, they have an effect. And we have a word system where we can even put curses on people without even meaning to. One good example is like when people say good morning, that's equal to saying I hope you have a good bad day. I hope you have a great bad day. I know it don't, that people don't mean that. I hope you have a great bad day. Good morning. And words, I believe they do have that effect. That's what Radiance Anthology was telling us yesterday, that we are in an environment where we say things, our attitudes. And I wish I could find what that said, because that was really important. It said that we are let me see if it's on this page here. I don't think it is, but the atmosphere that we're in, I mean, things that we can't see greatly affect us. We've been greatly affected by the words that go out. Words create actions. It has an effect. So now the Creator has given us this way to get our power back and to get back on the road of what He originally intended men to be. And we read in the Bible, it says, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight paths. Or I want to, no, I'm not going to do that because I'll start going all over the place. But you know what I mean. You read it. And this is how we recreate ourselves. This is how we take off the world and we put on the Spirit, because our soul is power. So, now I'm gonna go to my room real quick before I get to the reading of the word, because there's some verses that I'm kind of late on sharing that I want to catch up now. Now, here we covered that yesterday. What's wrong with doing drugs? We covered that. And let me try to catch up with some verses that I want to share with you. Catch up with some other verses that I posted for the encouragement, for the benefit of my brethren. So here's one that I shared where it says, the time will come when bad men will neither be whipped nor tortured, but appropriated to benefit the province. To shape our laws with such interpretation is the beginning of wisdom in the government. So it's interesting. Everywhere you look, the Creator is always all about reform. He's all about reform. But in this reality, men are more likely to be about declining, tearing down. They got a spirit. There's a spirit in the world to tear down. We're in a situation in this world, again, I know you brethren don't really follow like geopolitical events like I do. I do it so that I could run back and report to you brethren what the things that I see that will impact us at some point in the near future. And so, in looking and observing the things that the kingdom of man has been doing to himself, is a stop. All he knows, it seems like all that he knows how to do now is speed up his decline. I mean, to his destruction. And people justify the killing and the murder, and We live in a situation now where men are grabbing other people. It's like has anybody ever played that game of Risk, where it's about conquering territory? And that's the situation that we live in right now. The powers that be, their whole vibration is to target weak nations and take what they've got. And try to take, really, it's what's going on is the United States, they are really, really, what's a good word to say, being exposed, and it is a terrible shame. Really, it's the Creator exposing the corruption, the greed, the conquest, the selfishness. He is really, if you like me, I like to look and learn about what men are when they do not acknowledge the Creator. And you either ascend or, brother, you descend. And for people like me who watch and observe, I'm here to tell you, brethren, that you may not see it, but we are in a fast descension. Now, we looked at the chart, and it said the light was going to be on the increase. One thing I learned about the chart, talking about how the angels have worked up until this point, we can specifically, an event, it could either, from what I have learned, an event in the world, it can either distract someone from spirituality, or it could attract somebody. A calamity, it could work both ways. It could cause a people to run to their God, or it could cause people to run for their life. They just do what they think is best. They run, they hide, they don't think about the Creator in all this. First of all, the Creator, to find the Creator in this day and age, it takes nearly a miracle to do that. Because the first thing that people think when they see anything that threatens their livelihood, their existence, is the church. People getting a little bit of difficulty in this reality, and then the next thing you hear, they went to church. They always run to church, the last place they should be. So I'm just here to tell you, brethren, what may not be talked about a lot in faithist circles about what the outside is doing. But back to this verse, the Creator, he seems to say that he's always all about restoration instead of terminating, I guess you would say, tearing down. Here's another verse. It says, to legislate in such a way that leaders cannot lead the multitude into evil. This is wisdom, meaning if you can lead in a way where you don't lead people into evil, and see, that's really something only the Creator can do. Legislate the human heart. That's something really, see, that's the big secret right there. The big secret, the big mystery that man can never conquer, he can never figure out how to legislate in a way that will affect the heart of man. To legislate in such a way that leaders cannot lead the multitude into evil. This is wisdom. Were all leaders dead, the people themselves will not be very bad. Yet it is wrong to take any man's life, for life is something that man has no property in. Life rests with Jehovah only. It is his. So Creator's saying that you don't got no right under any circumstances to take a man's life. You got no right. I don't care what he did. See, but when you're in the flesh, you easily justify. See, we've gotten to a point where we justified it. We justified it a long time ago. We got away from the Creator. If we ever were with the Creator, I was looking at Brother Malachi's video today. He did a great video talking about the separation of the Jews and the Vedas. Great video. Brother's got a real gift, man, to water the world true to his vibration. To water the world with, refreshing information. And he was talking about how way back, the plot he read from, I think, I forget which book that is in the OAHSPE, the 35th book. And it was showing you that, well, going back to Luamong, inspiring Eskra to write the Torah, to write the Old Testament, and how way back then, man, if we were, how the Faithists were, we split from the Jews, the Israelites, the people of the letter, the people of the law, separation of the Oralites from the Leviticans. See, that's how you can look in the world today. You can immediately know who the Jews are and who the Oralites are. The Oralites, those are Faithists. The Jews, and what comes to mind is the Hebrew Israelites. They really don't know how they're being duped. All they talk about is the law, statute, and commandments. They don't know what they're saying. It is such a powerful show of darkness that the Creator is doing to them. They place all their value, all their hope in the law, statute, and commandments. But I'm getting away from the verse that I have on the screen. I just want to show that the separation from Jehovah, man, it goes way, way back. And here in this verse, it says, we're all leaders dead, and the people themselves will not be, we're all leaders dead, the people themselves will not be very bad. And then it goes into how wrong it is. No man has the right to take another man's life. This verse right here, we're all leaders dead, the people themselves will not be very bad. The inspiration had me talk about the other day about how people, they are dying to show that they're not evil. I know that people are dying to show that they are not evil, man. It's like the world, they like to peg you with 2 strikes even before you get a chance to show who you are. This verse here, it says, we're all leaders dead. The people themselves will not be very bad. And you can, me looking at people, it seems like they want the opportunity. They looking somewhere where they can show the world their value, their worth, their love. But there ain't no outlet for it. They want to show, they know there's a vibration in the world of distrust. People don't trust one another, don't believe one another. There's very little outlet to express yourself. There's no template for how to express yourself. There's the OAHSPE. People want to express themselves. They want to show that they are not evil, that they want to do right, they want to do well. It's called the spirit of life. It's the creator in them, but they don't know how to express themselves. Hey, Mahalia, good to see you, sis. Good to see you. They don't know how to express themselves. Were all leaders dead, the people themselves would not be very bad. When we're in this situation, when we have to work together, people are liable to work and want to be, want to get along with one another. It's like the creator is saying here, the inspiration to cheat one another, to steal from one another, to defraud one another, it comes from the leaders, our leaders. And you can see, I'm telling you, you can see that example, man. You look and you see that example, especially in America, leaders, man, once they get in office, these people are driven. And then money comes calling and they sell their soul right away to whoever pays the most. Then that's who they will work for. And the rest of you, well, you just have to suffer. To the victor go the spoils, right? So, and then it goes on, the verse, it says, there's the creator, he said, life is only his. Life is only his. And then another verse I found, it says, whatever people can dwell together in great numbers on the smallest piece of ground, and yet have peace and plenty, such a people are the highest of all peoples. Here's a verse where it says, coaxing with effect is greater than dictation not obeyed. Coaxing with effect is greater than dictation not obeyed, meaning not trying to bully somebody, push them around. The creator said it's better coaxing, to try to side with, not to pull rank on a brother or sister. Creator says it's better to, come alongside a brother and make an appeal to him to do what is right. Appeal to him. Coaxing with great effect. Coaxing with effect is greater than dictation not obeyed. Meaning it has more power than trying to order something. The human spirit, it just doesn't work well with, you look at, every now and then, I see these videos where people are about to get arrested and the officers, they start screaming at people and they, get out of the car, show me your hand, start screaming at people, and people just naturally rebel. They don't really know how to coax people. They dictate, and many people rebel. That's what it's saying here. Coaxing with effect is greater than dictation not obeyed. It's better to try to reason and come alongside a brother or sister. It says, we preach to the rich man that he should give all he has to the poor, and he walks away, giving nothing. But when we say to him, give a little, he does it. In this case, the higher doctrine is the power, and the lower doctrine is the higher, because it has potency, meaning you give him an opportunity without dictating to him to do what is right, he's more likely to submit. It's like the American way is the force of law. They use the law, you better do it because the law says you have to do it. You better obey me, and people, they naturally have an aversion being treated that type of way. Now, I realize that we in a reality where there are some, it's a real fine line because you got people who, they're very lawless and you have to treat them a certain way. You have to deal with them a different way. It's a fine line. Here's another verse. It says, to be born near enough to the light to see it and believe in it and have faith in it. This is a great delight. That's why one of the purposes of this channel, I'm going to always try to find a way to talk about the difference between the faithists and the world. And I pray the Creator give me wisdom to always share about the difference between the world and the faithists. We got to know it, man. We ain't just run-of-the-mill people. We ain't Uzians. We got to know, man, that the Creator has called us to another reality, another world. He's called us to another vibration. Faithists. We ain't like everybody else. And I don't, again, man, I don't want to sound like an elitist. We better than anybody else, although we are. But I don't want to sound like that because we are an open door for anybody who simply wants to get started on the road to learning the light, to attune to the voice of the Creator. I'm going to dedicate myself to showing that, hey, don't chalk us up with everybody else. We are not everybody else, man. We are future gods and goddesses who are going through one hell of a trial on the earth to see if we can hold up under affliction. We can make it off the earth, elevating in our spirit, growing, walking in the light. That puts us on the path to resurrection. It ain't really something that's important now to the world. Again, resurrection is not really, it's because the beast kingdom has taught the world, well, when you die, everything will change. You'll get, even though you haven't been any way proactive on the earth, you haven't done anything, you gave your energy to the world and the things of the world, but all of a sudden, when you cross over, all that is forgotten and you get all of these blessings that you didn't try to pursue when you were in this reality. That's the way the world thinks. See, the world love a good deal. They love a good deal, man. Something for nothing. I saw the brother's video yesterday and he quoted a pastor saying that, what is it? It was a song. Something from nothing means nothing or something like that. Y'all remember that song? You got to have something if you want to be with me, and it was a faithist that was doing the channel, doing the video, and the point he was making, and the Creator, it sounded like the Creator to me. If you don't want to bear up under the earth and shoulder your cross, I don't want to say that. Matter of fact, cross. I learned something watching Brother Malachi's video today. Do you know that only false prophets were put on a cross? Only false prophets. Only false prophets. You know, you were cursed if you were put on a cross. It's amazing how the Creator makes the New Testament, the Bible, kind of tell on itself. In order to be hung on a cross, you had to be a false prophet. Now it's time for the reading of the word. Let me do this one real quick. It said to be born near enough to the Spirit, the ES, the light, to see it and believe it and have faith in it. This is great delight, man. This is great delight. You know, you brother, you got something, man. You got something. You know, it's a terrible. What is that song? Don't know what you got till it's gone. You take paradise and put up a parking lot. Remember that song? When you don't know what you got till it's gone, you take paradise and put up a parking lot. Same way in the world, man. You know, and it's a profound effect when, like, you have a girlfriend and you took her for granted and then you broke up, and all the little things that she did. And I don't want to make one sound more than the other. You know, I'm sure it's true for both the man and the woman. You know, now you appreciate them. You know, their quirky ways, the little things they did. See, they're gone now. See, now all of a sudden you miss them. Same way with the Creator, man. You know, you got the ability to believe, but over time, you know, it ain't nothing to you, and then it's gone. You just don't have no more motivation, you know, and you just let your faith go shipwreck. You know, you just stagnate all day long. You know, you don't do any soul confirmations. It says to be so far from the Creator that one cannot believe in His person and His presence. It said this is pitiable. That's pitiable, man. The world is one. He's gonna put you to sleep. You don't got no more desire. You don't have no more inspiration. It's a terrible thing. And here the Creator, He set you on the path to resurrection. And you get tired. You get tired to the point you can't even, you're at a level now, you can't even make the first resurrection. You can't even get on that road. You're tired. So time for the reading of the word. So you can just stop the video. I wanted to cover these, but I don't have time. So I'll scroll them. You can read them. And so I can get to the video. Now the video is called High Noon. High Noon. And it comes from Radiance Anthology. So don't get tired, brother. Don't get tired, man. You know, walk this walk. All you got to do is walk it one time. That's all you got to do. Walk it one time, man. We only get to walk this walk one time. And then it has eternal ramifications. So let's take advantage this one time, brethren. You know, take advantage this one time, man, you know, and walk the walk, redeem the time. Give it all your, you know, all the dedication you can muster. We only doing this one time. We making ourselves. Y'all remember what the Creator said? He said, go make yourself. You know, there's a real blessing, man, when you see people who make it. I mean, even in the world, and then you see them, they sitting back, they relaxing, they got their mansion by the ocean, you know. They they climbed their mountain and now they reaping the benefits of their sweat equity, their labor. Now, I don't want to equate the world with faithists in any way, because the faithists, they headed towards a glory who don't nobody know about. We ain't got no clue. You got to have that spirit, that mind's eye to see the things that we see. If you don't got it, we can't help you. We can't help you. You're going to learn it one way or the other. It could take you hundreds or who knows, thousands of years if you have to cross over and find the creator that way. But the creator says that you're going to find it one way or another. One way or another. It's just that, brethren, now they taking the short route. You, brethren, it's almost like the creator said, okay, do you want to do it the hard way, the short way, or the long way? It's like he gives everybody a choice. Some brothers say, I want to do it the short way. And the creator says, all right, I'm going to put them on the earth. Put you on the earth. I'm prepare you to become gods and goddesses. You're going to do it one time and put you in the body. You're going to do it one time. I'm going to test you. I'm going to put the tetrax on you. Don't lose faith, brethren. Now it's not the time to be entertaining those thoughts. Understand where we are. All right. So may the creator bless the reading of his word. This comes from Radiance Anthology. I think it's page 510 in Radiance Anthology. This is called High Noon. So may the creator bless the reading of this word. It says, the forces of change that were set in motion at the dawn of this new age remain with us still. So beginning of cosmic, the forces of change that were set in motion at the dawn of this new age, it remains with us. All that has transpired to date has only been a prelude to the greater things yet to come. All of the sudden changes, all the turmoil you experience, all the mixed signals so far received are merely the froth on the wave or the rolling thunder that rides upon the lightning bolt. All the crash and clamor may be confusing, but those who are able to perceive on a deeper level of light realize the unseen cause of things and are able to separate the shadow from the substance. So again, if I may digress for a second, see, when we did the study on the special session, what the angel showed us is that great times of light, meaning people, open door for the angels to inspire people. The interesting thing is we don't know, an event, it can either inspire, and I think this is something only the angels know. An event can inspire mortals to seek the creator, or it can inspire mortals to seek themselves. An event. Now, when the angels tell us this was a high time of light, that's really something that they know what goes on in the hearts and minds of men. Whether people all of a sudden want to know about spiritual things or not. And they orchestrate, from my best understanding, the angels, they help to orchestrate situations that will produce a favorable response. But the flip side, the bittersweet part of it is it could cause, see, they can't force mortals to see it their way, do it their way. They have to influence us. And when events come on the world, it could cause people to either digress or ascend. You know, like when the world wars happened, the angel said it was a time of low light, meaning people, they turned to themselves, like their own survival. In World War II, people really forgot the creator, forgot spiritual things. Now, personally, I can't see it, but that's what they said. They said that it was a time of low light. The greatest low light was World War II. And that also was an event where more men died than any other event. And so the creators are telling us from their purview, it was a time when it caused people to seek their own survival. They became very, very self-concerned. But now we are in a time where the light is going to steadily increase, meaning people are basically going to say like, hey man, look, I've had enough of this confusion. I've had, I'm sick and tired of the chaos, the anarchy, the way we can't get it together. There's got to be a better way. Now the stage is prepared for Fatus. Now the stage is prepared. It seems the angels say, okay, take those brethren, take the ones who have dedicated a portion of their life to learning, to praying and believing and studying. Take them and fill them with spiritual power, because they have shown us they're able to handle it. Now I'm translating, you know, I'm just trying to give an idea of what I think the plan is, the plan of the angels, and the purpose of all things. Up till now, it's been a process to bring us to this point so that we can be vessels that won't crack when water is poured into us. Hey, Nazarene, good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining us. We're doing the reading now, so hop on. It says, all the crash and clamor may be confusing, but those who are able to perceive on a different level of light realize the unseen cause of things and are able to separate the shadows from the substance. As this age of cosmos matures in the decades ahead. Now remember, this is coming to us from the 1930s, Radiance anthology. I think it was published around that time. Or let me see, it was started at least. It says, as this age of cosmos matures in the decades ahead, the pace will quicken even more than it has to date. Social conditions may give the appearance of greater darkness, but this will only be an illusion fostered by a more vociferous and desperate minority that is riding the froth of the wave, riding on nothing. It's like they're saying the leaders of this reality, it's like last call for alcohol, if I may be vulgar. They realize it's like now or never. So they make a push to implement all their great plans or to get all the money. The angels are telling us social conditions may give the appearance of greater darkness, There are threats of nuclear war right now. There's chaos in governments. There are nations taking over smaller nations. Disease, you know, events, nowadays they talk a lot about the drones in New Jersey and, events, meant to spark fear, the appearance of greater darkness, and many, many other things on the horizon that seem to give the appearance of greater darkness. But the angels are saying, but this will only be an illusion fostered by a more vociferous definition of vociferous, vehement, especially a person of speech, clamorous, outspoken, forthright, plain spoken, frank, candid, open, uninhibited, direct, earnest, enthusiastic, full throated, vigorous, insistent, emphatic, demanding, clamorous, strident, loud. Hey, Ambrose, how you doing? Okay, so we got an idea what vociferous is. So they're saying that social conditions may give the appearance of greater darkness, but this will only be an illusion fostered by a more clamorous, emphatic, and desperate minority that is riding the froth of the wave. So they're riding on threats and really nothing. But they're playing on people's fears in trying to implement their last plan and really their plan is greater domination of their brethren. A desperate minority that is riding the froth of this wave, a desperate minority, are leaders. A last call for holding on to your power. And they tell us, don't allow yourselves to be pulled down by these influences, but rather hold more tenaciously to the light with your spiritual family. See, brother, we're in this together. Standing somewhat apart from the vexations of the world. Okay, Amherst wants to know, what book are we in? We're in Radiance Anthology. I think this is page 510. This is called High Noon. High Noon. Radiance Anthology is the book. So it says, let the external forces that drive society find their own way, while you direct the forces of your energy and efforts toward those who choose to live in the light and set an example of truth. Set an example of truth. So let's go to the next file. So be together with one another. You be united with one another. And let the world, let it go its own way, is basically what they saying. Read it again. It says, let the external forces that drive society find their own way, while you direct the forces of your energy and efforts toward those who choose to live in the light, who set an example of truth and harmony, regardless of the name professed. All the rest must be allowed to go their own way, for no one can turn them about with a twist or through force. Talk about the beast kingdom. So the angels are saying, let them go their own way. You can't reason with them. You can't show them. You can't convince them. You can't persuade them. Let them go. Let the world go their own way. The pull of the world is too strong on them. The materialism, the conquest, the dominance, the bloodlust. Let them go. Just let them. You go your way, and I'm gonna go mine. Okay. Let them go, the angels are saying. Just leave them alone. It said, for this reason, you should put little effort into trying to transform any government or society that has fallen under the lesser light of self. See, the light of self is just overrun the whole world. The light of self. Self-interest, deception, anarchy. Now, I think the Spirit of God is working mightily in, even because people who rise up against evil, who rise up against corruption, that's the Spirit of God. To me, that's the Spirit of God. Now, they might not care about Faithist or the OAHSPE, but they rise up. They have a natural aversion to evil when they see it. That's the Spirit of God. Now, they may not push the light, but there are a lot of young people who basically, they have had enough. They see the corruption. They see warfare. They see people get killed. And they rise up. Now, they might not be Faithists, but the Spirit of God in them is coming against darkness in ways that the OAHSPE say don't come against. We have to be non-resistant. But I don't know what spirit it is that comes up against the spirit of darkness other than the spirit of light. Now, they may be doing it wrong, but they are coming against the darkness. And I think that is from a spiritual standpoint, is hi, Elizabeth. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sis. Yeah, page 521, High Noon, Radiance Anthology. That's where I'm reading from. High Noon, Radiance Anthology. Thank you, sis. Good to see you. Good to see you. So let me recap that again. It says, for this reason, you should put little effort in trying to transform any government or society that has fallen under the lesser light of self. Now, what do you think the spiritual grade is of the world today? What do you think the spiritual grade is? See, there was a time when the Creator, he sank the continent of Pan. They had gotten that low in their spiritual grade. You remember that? They got so low, he had that angel sink a whole continent, you know? Every time, I'm right out here by the Pacific Ocean. And every time I go by that place, it's called Ocean Beach, right out there. I always look out there and I try to imagine. I mean, that's where Pan was. And you just can't even fathom it, man. You know, Crater allowed it to be sunk. A continent, man. The grade had gotten that low. Where do you think we are now? You see what I mean? That's why they telling us, hey, man, don't try to reform it. Don't try to correct it. Don't try to transform it. Just get the hell away from it. You know? Don't participate in demonstrations and marching and signing petitions and claiming, I want my rights, and just don't have any of it, man. The nations, the governments have fallen under the lesser light of self. That's why I look at the leaders. I look and see what they do. More and more are being exposed. Syria just recently got overthrown. The guy who was in charge there over 50 years, his dad was the leader before him, and tyrants, first thing they do when they get power in a country is they enslave their brethren. They put down any dissent. That's the first thing that a leader he'll do. He knows he's corrupt in his heart. He knows he's not going to govern to the best interests of his constituents. And first thing he does is he makes buddies with the military. The military pays them, feeds them, because he knows he's going to be corrupt. This guy here, he comes to my mind. This guy here comes to my mind. Prime Minister of Gabon. Okay. Now, not him, but the guy before him. I forget what his name is. And the guy was just corrupt. And, I forget. He was in the news last year, and he was just as corrupt as could be, man. I mean, it's like they get in the office, man, and the first thing they do is they make a beeline for the bank, for the treasury. You know what I mean? I mean, you brother know. They fall under the lesser light of self. They fall under the lesser light of self. And the angels are saying here they cannot be turned about and must be allowed to take their course, trying to find the highest light within them and then trying to decide where to place your resources of time, energy, or money in an effort to bring out the greater good will only lead you to ineffective frustration and cynicism. So it's telling the faithists, don't try to transform the government or society. Just deal with your brethren and whatever way serve and minister to them. Because the plan of the Creator seems to be, hey, I'm going to bring them to you, right? I'm not going to send you on your hands and knees begging people to hear this light, to draw near to the Creator. I'm not sending you to do that. I'm going to separate you. And I'm going to make them come to you. Because you know how the world is when they see what you've got. See, When they see now, they want some of that. See, remember in Fragapati, I think it was, or Siddhantis, or I think it was Fragapati. They gave that party for the subjects of the false gods. They wanted to give them a little taste of the spiritual, the glory. And the Ethereans, they put on a show of power, of culture, of wisdom, and love. And they decimated the false god's kingdom. All them subjects, it said by the end of the second day, they was good to go. They was good to go, man. You know, they couldn't even take it no more, man. They wanted to make a bum rush. They wanted to bum rush the Ethereans. You know, where do I sign up? You know, hurry up, sign me up. What do I got to do? See, the world got to learn too late, you know. Faith is walking around, walking in white, you know. Spiritual power from on high, making chairs sing and dance. Hey, how do you, well, how can I get that? How can I do that? Where do I got to go? How can I get what you got? See? It don't come in a day. Take time, brother. You know? Creator ain't had in one day. No. You gotta dedicate yourself. Why do you think he's a fool? You know? That's the way the world thinks. They cannot, I'm at the top of the screen. They cannot be turned about, must be allowed to take their course. Trying to find the highest light within them and then trying to decide where to place your resources of time, energy, money in an effort to bring out the greater good will only lead you to ineffective frustration and cynicism. Creators say don't, or the angels saying don't try it. Don't put your resources into the Uzians. Don't do it. It said, look here in the middle of the screen. It says, cut the rope. Cut the rope, brother. Set the ship of Uz adrift. Set it adrift. Let it go, you know. Set the ship of Uz, set it adrift, man, you know. This will allow you to put your hearts and minds more fully into the avenue that counts most, namely with Jehovah, all light, and with the angelic pleroma that labor in oneness above. This will lead you inevitably into an association of like-minded individuals who hold a common purpose. See, you know, that dream that I be having. We all working at the same place, man. You know, I share from time to time how I used to be a delivery driver to San Francisco, big glorious tourist city, and I would go into buildings, man. And one thing I remember, I could smell lunch. I could smell catered food from a mile away. And that's what was in them buildings, man. That's one thing, that catered food, man. And I was always hungry, you know, because I was barely surviving, you know. You know, I hated working. Oh, man, with all my heart, man. Oh, I hated it so much, man, with all my heart. You know, I would show up somewhere, you know, big Negro. The first thing they think, oh, we got us a big one here. Look at that Negro. Big football player looking Negro. We could put him on that route to San Francisco. You know, the one where you got to carry those treadmills upstairs. All right. Thank you, Lord. You sent us a, and man, I hated my life so much. I hated it so much because they only paid me enough to live. I had a little small apartment and I hated my life, man. And in my heart, I knew I was worth way more than what they were giving me. And this is the same for you, brethren, too. See, do you really think spiritually, you're worth $25 an hour? That was back in the 80s. Do you really think that way? Can you place a value on a human being? See, in the kingdom of man, he can never he can never give you your true worth. He'll never, you know what I mean? He can never do it, man. Matter of fact, he seeks to pay you what he can get by with. And he don't care if you have to struggle and you can't, paycheck to paycheck. See, the Uzians, man, that's how they treat their brother. And man, that building, I could smell that catering food, and it's stuck in my memory because they were all successful people. They wore suits and ties, and they would go outside and sit in the sun at lunch. And I used to recall thinking, man, they ain't got a care in the world, And I think the same thing now for the faithists, like the tables are flipped, Now we're the ones working. We're all together. We're working in the big buildings down by the bay and overlooking the water, and the ships going back and forth. And I could go to the different floors and I could see, whoever, this brother, that brother. And, I feel like talking to this sister or that sister. And I go to their floor and we talk, and I go to the third floor, and we're all working together. We're all faithists, and the Creator has put us into our own kingdom, man. Now we're the ones going out, sitting out in the sun, eating our catered food, vegetarian. Just enjoying one another's company. I'm sorry, man, but I believe that. That's the kingdom of light. And then it's going to be Uzi and truck drivers showing up. Hey, how can I get with you people? What are y'all? Who are y'all? What are you doing? Bless me. You're going to come to us, the faithists, the brethren who've been sweating it out all this time, in the darkness, in obscurity, praying and learning and chasing the Creator, and he feeds us in secret. It's like, if you don't want it now, don't expect to want it later. You ain't, and the OAHSPE say that. If you can't deal with the vices now, don't expect to have greater strength when you go into your spirit. Creator said, deal with it now. So let's pick back up. It says, cut the rope. I'm at the top of the screen. Cut the rope. Cut the rope, man. Set the ship of Uz adrift. This will allow you to put your hearts and minds more fully into the avenue that counts most, namely with Jehovah. All light with the angelic pleroma that labor in oneness above. See? They all in that one office building with catered food, laboring in oneness above. Wow, man. Not a care in the world, Get off at 5 o'clock, They go out to dinner and enjoy each other's company, laboring in love and oneness for the Creator, being a light. This will lead you inevitably into an association of like-minded individuals who hold a common purpose. At first, such associations may be small, talking about the faithists, widely separated and erratic. But in time, your numbers will grow and begin to overlap, becoming more cohesive in clarity and truth. It says, then you will find a greater effectiveness in people who are attuned to the Creator. While that ship of darkness will still be adrift, the Uzzians still be adrift, bickering and complaining with even less common purpose than it had in the past. Divided, division, warring, fighting. As it drifts into its sunset, the dawn of Cosmin will have reached high noon. I think it's talking about the harvest, personally, 2048. So, brethren, that's it. That's the best I can do for today. That is the high noon from Radiance anthology. And I have to show you again. Shoot, man, as long as I keep forgetting to put the description or how you can order it, until I remember to do it, then I'm just going to show you here on video. And then we're going to do the soul confirmations. So let me get the let me see. Let me get the ordering instructions. Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you. Reminding me. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you want to do the soul confirmations. You see the value in it. Okay, now let me get the ordering information for Radiance Anthology. Let's get that up there. So, you brethren, if you want, you can order it. Okay, so here, if you want, just make a screenshot of it. And it tells you how to order it. This tells you a little bit about it. Well, let's get the ordering information. Now, this is interesting. I can't find the ordering information, and this is the same page. Oh, I hope they didn't take it down. Where is the part about how you order it? How do you order it? Oh, here we go. There we go. Thank you, Creator. Thank you. All right, there it is right there. So make a note of it. Here's the ordering information, you brethren. Okay, so just make a note of it. This is how you can order a Radiance Anthology. It's a big book, man. They send it out for free, or at least I got mine for free. I ordered OAHSPE. They said, hey, do you want Radiance Anthology too? I said, yeah. Big old book, man. I said, let me pay you. He said, no. Don't worry about it. You know, this is the kingdom of light. Freely you receive, freely give. That's when I knew, man. I knew I'm dealing with the kingdom of light. I knew it, you know. You don't do things for profit. I know that's the kingdom of light. Okay, so that's it for that. You got the ordering information. Now we can go back and do the soul confirmations. Now, we left off, or the one we did for earlier in the video was the one at the bottom here. The one at the bottom left. So, time for the end of the video. So let's go ahead and do the soul confirmations. Bottom left. And if we ran up here again, it gives you the reasons why we should do this. See? The total neglect of the cultivation of their spiritual nature by the majority of persons leaves them unequipped for solving even the problems of physical existence successfully. It is impossible to have perfect physical health and the full and intense activity of all the faculties of the mind without the cultivation of the vitalizing powers of the soul. Intellectual beliefs and philosophies are dull and lifeless substitutes for the joyous faith which one experiences as one cultivates the soul and becomes aware of the immortal life of the creator within. You, brother, got the creator within. All you got to do is treat him like a lover, talk to him, acknowledge him, you know. That's what we doing. See? On the count of three, we're going to do the one on the bottom here. The bottom left, you can't, I don't know if you can see my cursor. On the count of three, this is how we create a vortex within ourselves and the world. See? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let me make it bigger. So look what her bear has put. That sounds funny. You talking right, brother. I like that. There's something to that, the way she put it. Bless you, sis. Thanks a lot. It bless my soul. All right, here we go. The one right down here on the bottom, we're going to say it 3 times together on 3. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of mortals. One more, or again, 1, 2, 3. My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of mortals. Last time, 1, 2, 3. My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of mortals. And that's it, brethren. That's it. That's how we see the soul confirmations. Now, I'm gonna make the screen small here. And so you can read all these. You know what I do during the day? I keep it I keep this on my screen. And then I get a little piece of food, you know, whenever I feel like an unwelcome thought coming on, I grab one of these soul confirmations, give me a little piece of food to eat. See, just stop the video. I want to show you all. See, we got to do all this. We got a whole bunch of work to do, man, you know? And we're gonna make ourselves. We're gonna take the creator at his word. You see all this? All those soul confirmations. I should go back and just do this study all over again. Matter of fact, I think I will. I'm gonna do this all over again, man. We're gonna get this. We're going to put the vortex into the world, brother. We gonna do it. We done got the secret. It's like the creator said, that prepare ye the way of the Lord, which is you. You. I'm just excited. I'm sorry, man. Amherst, I can't help it. I love that. You talking right, brother. Sounds Southern. You from the South? Where you from, Amherst? Where you from? What city you in? What is Hadassah style? Is that no food, no water? I do a lot of fasting. I do a whole lot of that. Where you from, Amherst? Before I close the video. Hey, Amherst, what's your sign? Oh, you from Little Rock. Yeah, that sounds Southern. You know? Hey, Amherst, I ask everybody this. What's your sign? What's your sign? And what is this? What is this Hadassah style? If you don't mind me asking, that's a type of fast? Oh, you a Sagittarius? Oh, the teacher. The teacher. Did that mean you should be doing this program? That's the teacher. Yes, they can explain things in a way that people can understand it. That's one of the gifts they have. Yes. What is the Hadassah? What is that? What type of fast is that? Hadassah style fasting. Is that no food, no water? What is dry fasting? Is that no food, no water? No food, no water. Is that dry fasting? What is dry fasting? Let me look on the internet. What is dry fasting? Dry fasting. What is dry fasting? Dry fasting, also known as absolute fasting, is the practice of abstaining from all food and liquids for a set period of time. Yeah, I do that a lot. While some claim that dry fasting can have health benefits, many doctors consider it dangerous, and there's, well, whatever, I guess you do have to be careful with it, though, And the OAHSPE, you don't really talk a lot about, fasting. I guess you do have to be careful. Yeah, in this case, I just have to say to each his own, And diabetics have to be careful doing that. It says here, diabetic ketoacidosis. So I agree with that. You got to be careful doing this, Okay, let me see. Ever says it's the truth. 11 days in prayer opened it up for me. I believe you, but I think that, number one, I would like for the OAHSPE to tell me, you know what I mean? You say it heals diabetes, and I would like to believe you. You know what I mean? I'm just not strong enough yet. I would like for the OAHSPE to tell me specifically what you're saying, not to be, not to, not to be, to go against what you're saying, but I would like for the creator to tell me in print stuff like this. I think that I'm older and my metabolism has slowed down. You know what I mean? And it's easier for fasting. It's kind of easy for me, But when it comes to things like this, I would like it for the Creator to tell me, because people do say a lot of things, and you have to be careful. So, anyway, whatever. That's the best I can do for right now. I thank you, brethren, for. I don't imagine anybody wants to come on the room. Do you? Does anybody want to come in and say a word, or you want to testify of anything? Let me put the link in the room for about a minute to see if any of y'all want to come on. Maybe you want to come on and give a testimony or something. I'll give it a couple of minutes, and there's the link right there. You can click on the link if you want. You can come in and share with brethren. You can say something if you want to, and I'll just take about a couple minutes here and just. Yeah, I had a dream before I came. And I don't remember my dreams. But I did this one about an hour before I came on. I had a dream, and I remembered it. Now I was sitting on the bed. I was talking with a woman, and I remembered a part. One thing that I noticed was part of the corner, the left corner of the bed had some dust on it, and it had dead skin on it. And then I looked over to the right, and it had a little bit of dead skin on it. I remember that. I remember seeing that. And then I said to the lady, or let me see, I said something like, you have to take advantage of what you're learning now so that it don't come back on you later. And then people started walking out of the room, and I tried to let me see what happened. I think I tried to turn on something, and I couldn't turn it on. And the lady said, I have to remember that. And then she walked out of the room, and then the dream ended. But the part that I remember is me telling her, you have to remember what you're learning now so that later on it doesn't come back to hurt you. That part I do remember. So I'm just sharing that with y'all. I don't know if you can get anything out. Get anything out of it. If you can, that's good. If not, then So, brethren, that's the best I can do right now. If nobody wants to come on, I can go ahead and close video. Thank y'all for joining me. No video tomorrow. I'm going to be in Bible study tomorrow. So, thank you, Creator, for this video and the chance for us to have a little fellowship with one another and to look at the world and learn a lesson and what you have to say about it and how you want us to depart out of it and how you want us to endure. Just be patient. Just endure. We don't know what the unseen look like, but you are trying to tell us that you are working, the angels are working, and this is how you prepare the way of the Lord. This is how you prepare the way of the Lord. And that you work through our soul, and that our words have power because our soul is power. And that when we affirm things, it's equal to saying, I want to apply this to my soul, to my character, to my personality. And you say, you are the one that does the work, Creator. So we give thanks for that. And I just pray that you will go with us as we leave one another now. And you cover us with all good, with wisdom, with knowledge, with understanding, with perseverance, with protection, with faith, with love, and any other thing that I'm leaving out, Creator. Really, this is a blessing to know that you have you're sharing with us, telling us what our time on the earth, what it means, and the eternal ramifications of it. And so we thank you, praise you, ask that you go with us. We go our separate ways, and in your name, I give thanks and pray. So let it be. All right, brother. See, Nazarene, where's the verse, brother? Where's the verse? See, the verse. Where's the verse, brother? I can't close until you put the verse up. What are you trying to do to me, bro? I'm giving the brother a hard time. He usually put a verse up to let me know it's time to close the program. Where's the verse, brother? I'm gonna have to copy and paste it and put it on the, so that when the brother don't put his verse up, then I can put it up. We waiting on you, bro. We gotta wait until Nazarene put up the verse before I can close the video. Okay, Elizabeth bailed you out, brother. She put up part of it, and so I'm gonna hang with that. As my spirit sleeps, help my, I think, let me see, what does it say? As my spirit sleeps, or as let the less encumbered, let me see. Actually, let me see. I'm gonna pull it up myself. Encumbered, because I can't close the video until the brother he puts it up. So let me do it. Let me do it here. As my spirit, let me see. Oh, you have two. We have two. Oh, is that right? Is that right? So this is another Nazarene Faith Essene. Oh, the other one is Nazarene Faithist. Yeah. So I might not even know this brother. Oh, well, welcome, Nazarene Essene. Welcome, brother. I thought he was the same one. Okay, let me see if I can find it myself on the study, the word search here. Yep, I got it. I thought that you were the same one, Nazarene Essene. I'll be doggone. I didn't know that. He's somebody different. Okay, so there it is. That means go ahead, close the video now. So, brother, thank you joining me. No video Wednesday. I won't have no video up on Wednesday. And so oh, okay. I did confuse you with somebody else. You're you're the one where all of us are going to move to your house. We're gathered together. When the angel comes and say secretly, okay, brother, time has come. Time for y'all to be gathered together. Everybody go over to Nazarene and see. Y'all gonna be gathered. Time has come. Kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. I'm gonna start with you, brother. Gonna bless you, give you spiritual power. I'm coming to y'all secretly. Everybody go over to Nazarene and see. Go to Nazarene and see. Go to his house over there in Arizona. We're gonna get it started. All right, brother. That's it, man. Time to close the video. That's the best I can do. Thank you, brother, for joining me. No video tomorrow. And until I see you again, may the Creator be with you. Thank you again. And shalom.